Welcome to Cre8tiverse, your home of innovation, creation, and inspiration. All right, so we are going to do a simple practical here. I'm going to teach you, we're going to draw a puppet, a very simple puppet, a basic design, and let's just do the practice, okay, and see how much of Adobe Illustrator you've learned. Okay, all right, so to create that, we're going to create a new document. Control N. Let's wait a little bit. I'm having issues. Okay, file, new. So let's say, of course, I'll use pixels 1000 by 1000. So let's say one artboard. I'll leave everything the same. So we're going to mimic something like this. It's very simple, beginner friendly, nothing fancy. I believe everything here is something you can do, or you should be able to do, basically. So let's start. We'll begin by drawing the circle, and let's go. So we have let's draw a circle here. Hold my Alt and Shift. I think it's a kind of a blue. Let's go for a shade of it. Kind of. Let's just settle for. Okay, let's just go with the former for now. If you look at the head carefully, it's not perfect circle, so we can just decide to distort. At this point, I'm using I'm just dragging free wheel. I'm not holding Shift or the Alt. So as you can see, we have this already. What we could do is, if you want to get the perfect color, what I would advise you to do is to maybe drag it to your Adobe Illustrator. It might be too big, it's normal. Maybe you could just, of course, the eyedropper tool, for the eyedropper tool, sample it and you're good to go. Maybe I can just drop it there. It's too big, just drop it down there. Back here, Control 0. So we have that there. We're going to draw the eyes. If you look at the eyes, it looks circular, right? We have this there. So let's just start. Because I'll zoom in now. So let's draw a circle. I think the eyes is a perfect circle, so we'll draw something like this. I think it's white, so white fill, if that makes sense. White fill with a black stroke. So we're going to do white fill with a black stroke. Give the black stroke. Let's see. Once we are okay with what we want, let's make this quite big, or bigger, so to say. And at this point, what do you think we should do next? I'm going to duplicate this. Let me sure I have it. Sorry, let me sure I have it the way I want it. I'll duplicate. Let's say I'll draw the eyeballs. So it's going to be another circle. I click this. I draw a circle inside there. For this circle, I don't need a stroke, but it's going to have a black fill. Let's see. So let's see what we've got there. So we're going to draw something like this. I think that's okay if you ask me. Okay, so I'm going to pick this and duplicate. You can see it's now telling me that this side and this side have equal distances from each other and to the extreme. So I'll just need this to shift a little bit there. You get the point, right? Actually, this is to get you started in illustration. Okay, so what next? We have I spoke about 2D animation, right? This is how we do 2D animation. So you draw your puppet in your Adobe Illustrator, then you import the layer straight into Character Animator. Actually, this was a project I was working on some time ago, and this is somebody I was following and learning this. Is that okay? As you can see, that's my system there, AutoCAD, 3ds Max, and the rest there. So I'll draw something like this. Right? We can try to bring this down a little bit. Hold my shift so that it can remain. Sorry, I think I made a mistake there. Click this, click this, click this, click this. Bring it down a little bit, yeah. Then this can be at top there. So what will I do? Of course, hold my Alt, duplicate, and have that there. It's coming out like little by little though. So if you look at this carefully, it's a triangle, right? This can be kind of funny because going through the shapes in Adobe Illustrator, there's no triangle. So what I will do is I will draw, let's say, a rectangle. And you're asking me, why am I drawing a rectangle here? First of all, it's kind of a red with a black stroke. I will look into that later. So when I'm done with this, I can click my direct selection tool. Of course, I can do this right, but this is not what I'm going to do. I'll go to my pen tool, find the delete anchor point, and I'll click this watch. So the delete anchor point is the pen tool. You can use that to maneuver away and delete this and delete this. Of course, you can't. Let's say if I draw something like this, for example, I can come here, delete this, and of course you get the idea. So that can come in handy at times. So I have my square there. Might not be the way I want, but it's a good place to start from. I rotate, hold my shift so it can rotate. I think I want something like this. At this point now I can distort. I will manually distort. Sorry. Bring this down and of course get my direct selection tool. I can move this in a little bit. Sorry. Or I think this should fly to an extent. Let's just stick with this and see. Let's stick with this and see. So we have let's say something like a red, or we can eyedrop. It's a beginner tutorial, so I will advise you to be eyedropping from now. Pick that there. I'm not still okay with this shape though. I'm trying to keep this simple. There are other ways to draw to achieve this with the pen tool, but I don't use the pen tool because this is the first thing you'll be designing. So I want to keep it as simple as anything. So if you observe, we are achieving this little by little already, but I think we might just go with this because I thought we could just keep it that simple. Let's say drag. I'm not get what I want though. I think the best would be to use the pen tool, but I will not use the pen tool this time for the sake of simplicity. So let's just pardon me, let's just stick with this for now. Then we have the mouth. I think the mouth might be kind of tricky. That's what we've got. So I think we might have to use the pen tool here. We might have to use the pen tool. Okay, so I could just draw something there. We want to make it very simple and basic. Right. You might be saying, what is this? It's not beautiful, right? The good thing about this is that you can always play around with it, right? With our move to, first of all, let's achieve the goal, which is to give it a white stroke. Am I correct? White. Then maybe a black stroke. All right, let's see how we can refine this. Now, first thing first, remember when I introduce you to the pen tool, there's a lot you can do here. Let's begin by, first and first, I don't think I need this here, so I'll go to my, I'll delete this anchor point first. Okay, move to my direct selection tool, or let's say first I will convert this to I'll convert this. Yes. Now, what did I just do? Let me explain. If you observe, we have these handles, right, indicating that this is like a curve. When I click this, it becomes a point, which I think is what I need. I use the anchor point tool. The next thing I will do is to get my direct selection tool, I can, I'm surprised it's not okay. Yeah, it's working. I can move this there. You can see now I held my shift. If you observe, when it snaps and it's straight, it shows a purple line. Can you see that? So that is straight. So we're getting there. I can click this. Don't forget, click before you drag. It's telling me it's a snap. Then I can drag this anchor point. Let me see if that is possible. Something I want to do here. Let's see if it's possible. I wish I could drag the both anchor point at the same time, but you get the idea, right? Until I get something that it's cool. So do you think we are closer to it? What I can do is I can come back here with my direct selection to drag this like so, drag this to like so. Sorry, don't forget, click first so that you, yes, so you pardon me, yes, until we good to go. Yes, so what I can do is click this, I will centralize, resize, so Ctrl 0. So if you observe, it's not so, what I can do is make it bigger, and let's see, get my, then increase this a little bit. Yes, so I'm just giving you this to, it's a beginner video, so I will not play with a lot of tools. At least from the shapes you learned how to draw the last time, we are coming up with this, which is cool. We're going to draw a box. I think, what do you call this again? Is it a tussle or something? I forgot anyways. So this is too big. We're going to send this to back, so right click, and we'll go to arrange, send to back. No, sorry, that should be arrange, send to back. It should work. Yeah, so we're going to reduce this a little bit. Of course, it's too big. That's what we're trying to achieve, so we're going to draw something small like so. But if you get the idea, right? Bring it down a little bit. So let's see. So we have this. Of course, this is going to, okay, then we have, what it means, the head should have a stroke. The head should have a stroke. Let's increase a little bit. Okay, I think now I can now copy this. Does that make sense? So we're just playing with basic shapes. I didn't want to use the pen tool, but I just had to use at some point. Is that okay? So what's the next thing? We have drawn the body. Let's achieve this, right? Let's achieve this and see. So I'm going to draw, funny enough, I'm going to draw a square again. Let me group. Should I group? Let's see. You might be saying, wow, this is not what I'm saying, but let's keep it cool, keep it calm from now. So we're going to my move tool. I can increase the size to where I want it. I think so let's see. So what we could do here is, don't forget I told you about the direct selection to what you can achieve here and here. So I click this, I hold shift, and I click this, and I drag in until I get what I want. Perfect. If you observe, we are getting closer. Then maybe I can do, let's not duplicate here. Let's draw another square so that we could just, let's say we have something like this. Sorry, I want to draw something cool, something like so. Forgive me. Let's continue. So we have this, right? So I will then duplicate this. Of course, hold my Alt, drag, and this way the magic happens. I want this to face here, right? So what should we do? You could drag this here and you're good to go, but I want to show you a method which will work many times for accuracy. Right click, go to reflect. Where is my reflect? Transform, arrange, so that I can't find my reflect. Am I mixing something up here? Undo, group, join, every simplify, make clipping, transform, arrange. Okay, transform. Go to the transform. I might reflect there. I will reflect. Let's see preview. Okay, it's I think it was at 360 before, right? So let's see something. Sorry, right click again. Go to reflect. I just want to teach you how to use the reflect. So we have 90. Let me use 180 and see what happens. Okay, let's see. Okay, that might not work in this case, but let's just drag then, and drag and make sure it snaps there. Then we are good to go. All right. What next? We are going to be having this hand do these hands. Actually, this was achieved in character animator. I was trying to design this to make it move. Still watch out for our character animation course in using character animator. It's a software by Adobe. So what we'll do something basic. We'll just maybe we should duplicate this, or instead let's be as, I think we should be rounding up soonest. We'll draw this. Then I will okay, I will put this in there, stuck it in there, and as usual, click this, or I'll do this from both sides, and I'll drag this. Okay, and the goal of this is to, let's bump it there, go back to my selection tool there. We'll have something like this. Is that okay? Then I can duplicate and make it smaller, something like so. Yep. So it was in the software that they did all of this there. It was in the software, but I just want to give you, a practical or a hands-on experience as to how you can draw some basic puppets using shapes, right? We are not looking at this video, there's nothing new. We're just playing around with the shapes, which I've taught you before. So I will group this, control group. I think this is where the reflect will likely work. Let's see. So I'll move this here. Let's try something. The reflect is a tool that is worth using. Let's say I right click, transform, reflect. Okay. Let's do 270. Okay, fine. Do you see that? Yeah, I knew that the reflect will work. It was not in this case. So I clicked, I right clicked, went to transform, went to reflect, and I put in 270. I have this, then I can just hold my and then move this in there so that it will be very much equal. So what we could do is, I think the hands, let's see, so I'll just group this I'll move this down a little bit because I want to have this coming down, kind of. So let's say I have this coming down. I would ungroup, right click on group. I'll click this and click this and see if I can just drag upward there. Then drag it in place, and is that okay? So we have this. Okay, we are going out of place already. Control 0. Okay, I think I'm having some issues here. Okay, so we're almost there. Control 0. So let's move this. Let's zoom in if we can and put this into perspective. Control 0. Let's group. Now you get the idea. Grouping. Fine. This is the puppet that we have. I think it's more like it. We didn't use anything new. I used the tool that I taught you. Drawing, I think this is still having some issue. Let's just let's ungroup first. Ungroup. All right, so that's that. Okay, so we use the basic shape, circle, square, triangle, and everything. We're able to draw a triangle. Nothing is new, nothing is fancy here, I believe. I mean, nothing, it's out of the board here. And we also use, okay, I think it's only the pen tool that we it's only here that we use the pen tool, which for me is not out of place. I think for that there you can only use the pen tool. I think there's another way. Let's see if there's a way I could have achieved that without using the pen tool. Let's say I drew this, for example, and I decide to say, okay, let's do something crazy here. I decide to go to my, where's my pen tool actually? Okay, P for my pen tool. Yeah, right click, go to delete. I would before I do this, I will add a point somewhere here. All right, then click my, so I delete this. It's getting crazy. Wow. So I'll go to my click this and drag them out there. Wow. So I was able to still achieve this without, so it means that I can, in that case, let's get this off. Let's bring this in. Let's reduce him there. So this, I drew this from start to finish without using the pen tool. I think that is a win for me. All right, so thank you for sticking to the end. This is still introduction to Adobe Illustrator. So I believe with this you can play around with some effects, like drawing the triangle, which was kind of tasky because we had to use another method. If you feel there's a way whereby we can draw a triangle directly in Adobe Illustrator, let me know in the comment section. And thanks for sticking around. In the next video, I'm going to teach you how to save a file, or let's just save this, and maybe in the next video we would go into saving a file. So I'll click let's export as for now. Is that okay? Export as, and let's say we decide to use, okay, desktop. Let's use our I think I have some files here. Let's use this, like on YouTube. This is JPEG, right? If you're using this method, make sure you tick use artboard. Range, I'm clicking, I'm only going to get the first artboard and click, like, let's say puppets. Is that okay? Puppets. I click export. Here I can increase my quality and let's say to 150, and okay. So let's see, where do we have our, let's go there, YouTube. Okay, so there we have him. Yeah, there we have him. So once again, thanks for sticking around. I believe you're getting value from this tutorial. It's still introduction to the Adobe Illustrator, and I believe it's been going well with you. See you in the next video, where we're going to be looking at or taking a tour as it concerns exporting, where you have to export as SVG, as PNG, and all of those. Is that okay? Thank you once again. See you in the next video.